3 times 4 equals 12. This is the multiplicand times the multiplier equals the product. So we would have 3 groups. 1, 2, 3 groups of 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives us 12 elements, items in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After that, we will continue with larger numbers, so 2 digits. For example, 13 times 4. For this, we will partition our 13 in tens and ones. So we would have 13 is made out of 10 and 3. So we multiply each part of the multiplicand. So 10 times 4 equals 40. This is a revision of year 2. And 3 times 4 equals 12. Here we have new timetables from year 3. So these are our partial products. We are now going to add them up. So 40 add 12. We can do that mentally by adding our ones. 0 ones plus 2 ones equals 2 ones. 4 tens plus 1 10 equals 5 tens. Then my final product to my multiplication is 52. So following this, we understand that in our multiplication we need to multiply the multiplier by each part of the multiplicand. This is why we start partitioning it. Now we are going to introduce the grid method, which is exactly what we are doing here, but within a grid. So for example, I write my number sentence. 13 times 4 equals, let's do a beautiful grid using a ruler. We will partition our tens and ones. Let's make it equal. Is that possible? Yes, we can do that. Right, so this is a multiplication. This is the operation sign. We have 13, which is made of 10 and 3. So once again, we are partitioning our number into values, and it's time 4. Right, so let's do our partial products. 4 times 10 equals 40, which is, remember, what we have done here. And 4 times 3 equals 12, which is what we have done here as well, just presenting it slightly different. Now we are going to add our partial product, which is what we were doing here. 40 plus 12 equals, and we add mentally using our knowledge of place value. So 0 ones plus 2 ones equals 2 ones. 4 tens plus 1 10 equals 5 10. Our total product is 52. And we have used the grid method. Right, so year 3 multiplication. After looking at the grid method, understanding that we have to multiply each part of the multiplier by each part of the multiplicand, we can start using a formal method, the expanded short multiplication. So for example, I will change this. 53 times 8, so we have our multiplicand times our multiplier to get our product. So let's write our multiplicand. 53 made of 5 tens and 3 ones times 8 times 8. All right, so let's do this. We are using our knowledge of timetable. So 8 times 3, remember we have to multiply the multiplier by each part of the multiplicand, and we are going to annotate it. 8 times 3 equals 24. Now, let's tackle the tens. Remember, this is not 5, this is 5 tens. 8 times 5 tens, which is 50. And interestingly, here we can use multiplication facts. If I know in my head, I think 8 times 5 equals 40. I know that. So 8 times 50, 50 is 10 times greater than 5. Therefore, my answer needs to be 10 times greater than 40, which is 400. Now, 8 times 50 equals 400, which is made of 0 ones, 0 tens, aligning all my digits properly, and 4 hundreds in my hundreds column. We have our partial products, multiplying my multiplier by the ones and by the tens. Now I need to add them. I need to show it with an operation sign, and I start adding from the ones. 4 add 0 equals 4. 2 add 0 equals 2. And nothing add 4 equals 4. My product is 424. I have used my expanded short multiplication showing partial products, and I have made use of my knowledge of timetable in what we call multiplication facts. Finally, our last step of multiplication in year 3 would be progressing towards what we call the formal short multiplication. This is compacting those partial products. So let's see this. 53 times 8 we are going to carry and write them under our next value. We'll see this. 8 times 3, so that's our first one, and in our head we do that. 24. Well, now I am going to compact it all on the same line, so I cannot write 24 here. All I can write is how many ones I have. 24 is made of 4 ones and 2 tens. I am going to write my 2 tens under my tens. Okay, 24. Now I am going to multiply my multiplier by the other part of my multiplicand, the tens. And remember, 5 stands for 5 tens, 50. So 8 times 50, 8 times 50, this is what we have done before. I relate it to my multiplication facts. I know that 8 times 5 equals 40, but this is not just 5. This is 10 times greater. This is 50. So instead of 40, I need to have a number which is 10 times greater than 40, which would be 400. Okay? So I would have a 400 here. That would be the 400, and I need to add the 2 tens. So 424. Instead of 40 tens, that would be 42 tens, if you want to see it like that. Okay, so 8 times 5 tens equals 40 tens. Okay, because 40 tens equals 400. Yeah, but it's easier to see it when we want to align it. So 40 tens plus 2 tens equals 42 tens. And this would be the formal short multiplication